Hey YouTubers, Electric Adventures here with another response video to the EEPROM 9's tag, open tag on your first computing experience, and also a secondary question on whether you prefer electronics or computers, whether that's your thing. Well, I mean, I go back a fair way in the computing environment, and my first ever experience with computers would have been at my local Tandy store. Yes, we had Tandy stores in Australia as well. They're an American store, and they had the TRS-80 computers. So you had the large system with the 2 disk drives built into a large cabinet, and you also had the one that just had the small monitor and the keyboard in front of it. They had a line of them going along the bench. It's where I met another friend who was actually younger than me, who was already there playing on the computers. And there I bought bought a book. Actually, I probably should have dug it out. I still have it somewhere. Where I learned how to program computers in BASIC. Also, about the same time, I was actually doing advanced science in high school. So this is in high school in Australia. That's grades 9 and 10, and I was doing advanced science, and as part of the grade 9 and 10 you had to do a project encompassing those 2 years that you wrote up and handed in at the end of grade 10, and it came to 20% of your mark. So it was a pretty big thing, and up until that stage I was doing up until probably late in grade 9 I was doing rocketry. So I was saving up to buy some rocket kits and going to build some rockets and write up some reports and things like that. And then another friend in the class who did advanced science said one day, because we'd actually been talking about computers, said, "Oh, why don't we ask the teacher whether we can go and play with the school computer?" And I didn't even know the school had a computer. And we asked, and the answer was yes. The school computer was in a little, what probably used to be a cupboard. I mean, it wasn't a very big room with a bench in it, and it had one single terminal, but it was a VDU terminal, and it had a teletype printer attached to that as well. We were actually very lucky, and that linked in to what was called the Elizabeth Computing Centre, which is the education department, and the only thing the school used it for was ordering new books for the library. So they didn't use it for anything else, so it was actually hardly used by anyone at all. And I started using this, and I got quite interested in it, and I asked the teacher a little whether he had any information, and he gave me an old printout of a BASIC, of a how to program in BASIC manual, and I started writing some programs. Well, the first thing I started to do was typing programs out of that book designed for the TRS-80 and converting them to the BASIC that the mainframe terminal understood. And I played a game like one of the very first games I played was called Advent 80, and later on I didn't play Zork until college, which is like another year or so later. So Advent 80 was probably the first online game I played, or probably the first computer game I played, and then there were the games that I typed in. So the Tandy book's a classic. I'll see if I can find it and insert a picture of it at the end of this video, but it's in my storage somewhere, and that could be a bit of a challenge. So that's my first general computing experience. And as far as PC, now I couldn't afford to buy a PC for a while, but that got me started, got me interested in computers. I went on, I did computers in college, and somewhere in that region, I can't remember exactly where, I got hold of a TI-99-4 computer. I was supposed to get it with the advanced BASIC cartridge, but I never did. I bought it second hand. And so I wrote a lot of my first home programs with that one. And from that one I moved on to a Spectravideo SVI 318. You can see that referred to in some of my other videos. I don't actually have one of those at the moment, and I only have a TI-99-4A, identical computer bar the keyboard. So the 4 had a chiclet keyboard and was the earlier model, and the 4A, only difference was the keyboard. And they had BASIC built in, but the advanced BASIC was really good because it could you could have automated sprites and things. Now, as far as electronics, later on, as I got more into computers, and obviously because of the advanced science background, where I was, making rockets and and into the circuitry, I actually was heavily into electronics. So I suppose it's a pivotal point where I could have gone either way. And when later on for the MSX computers, I used to manufacture RAM add-on cards, Centronics cables and cassette cables and things like that. Nothing too advanced. And we had Dick Smith Electronics here in Australia, and I used to hang out in the Dick Smith stores. So the Dick Smith System 80s, which is sort of a bit of a clone of the TRS-80, was an interesting computer, and you had a Dick Smith Wizard and the VZ100 or something like that. Were all Dick Smith computers, so I used to hang out in those electronic stores as well. I used to build some of the kit projects and things like that. But after then, computers started taking over more and more of my life, and they became the main thing. So I suppose I have it in me to fix some of the problems with some of the computers I have, but I generally only attempt simple things. I can solder, although I'm probably a little out of practice. My main thing is time. My job eats up a lot of time and is very sporadic when I need to do stuff. And then I've got 4 kids, so I'm always shuttling them around. But anyway, they're getting a little bit older. I'm getting a bit more time, and that's why I've gotten into resurrecting the collection I had and enhancing it with some of the video game consoles and replacement computers that I've been getting lately. So anyway, I hope that is a reasonable ramble. Nothing on the quality rambles that EEPROM 9 does himself. So make sure you don't respond to this video, that you respond to EEPROM's original video yourself if you want to do a response. And check out his channel. Great guy, lots of interesting ideas, always entertaining to watch. And yeah, I'll catch you later.